What if a man could write his own perfect ending? Ambrose Bierce, the sharpest pen in American literature, vanished without a trace. Was it fate, foul play, or a deliberate act of genius? Let's uncover the mystery of the writer who walked into the unknown. Ambrose Bierce, born in 1842 in rural Ohio, earned the nickname Bitter Bierce for his razor-sharp wit and unflinching critiques of society. His words exposed human folly, hypocrisy, and the absurdity of life. In the Devil's Dictionary, he redefined common terms with biting humor. For example, future became that period of time in which our affairs prosper, our friends are true, and our happiness is assured. Bierce's cynicism was not without cause. He fought in the American Civil War, witnessing unspeakable horrors that shaped his worldview and writing his short story. An occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge blurred the line between reality and illusion, exploring the fragility of life and the inevitability of death. Bierce didn't just observe these themes, he dissected them, making them central to his work. Outspoken and unapologetically honest, Bierce lived on the edge of society, admired for his intellect but often despised for his candor. His fascination with mortality and the unknown was not just literary, it was deeply personal, and it would ultimately define both his life and his mysterious disappearance. By 1913, at 71, Ambrose Bierce wasn't ready to retire quietly. Instead, he embarked on a journey that would become his most enduring mystery. He crossed into revolutionary Mexico, a land consumed by chaos under Pancho Villa's leadership. Bierce claimed he wanted to document history, but his true motives remain unclear. His letters during this journey were as cryptic as his writing. In one, he wrote, "Goodbye. If you hear of me being stood up against a Mexican stone wall and shot to rags, please know that I think it a pretty good way to depart this life." His final letter, sent from Chihuahua, Mexico, ended with the chilling line, "As to me, I leave here tomorrow for an unknown destination." What followed remains one of history's great mysteries. After that letter, Ambrose Bierce vanished. No official records, no eyewitness accounts, and no remains have ever surfaced. His disappearance became a story in itself, a final chapter written in shadows, leaving the world to speculate what truly happened to the man who dared to walk into the unknown. Ambrose Bierce's disappearance marked the beginning of a legend. Over the years, countless theories have sought to explain what happened, yet none have provided a definitive answer. One enduring tale suggests he was executed by Pancho Villa's forces, perhaps mistaken for a spy or caught in the crossfire of revolution. However, no evidence supports this, leaving it as speculation. Others believe Bierce succumbed to the harsh wilderness of the Chihuahua Desert, his life claimed by illness, bandits, or the unforgiving elements. Yet the lack of a body or evidence makes even this plausible explanation uncertain. More provocative still are the myths. Some claim Bierce staged his own disappearance, vanishing intentionally to create the ultimate ending, a final act of defiance that blurred the line between life and art. Folklore from Mexico even tells of his ghost haunting the desert, guiding lost travelers or whispering from the shadows. These theories have elevated Bierce's story beyond history into myth. Whether he was a victim of violence, nature, or his own design, his fate remains unresolved. In disappearing, Bierce became a reflection of the very mysteries he spent his life writing about, a man whose greatest work may have been the one he never finished. Ambrose Bierce left behind no grave and no closure. Only his words, wit, and a mystery that continues to captivate generations. His literary contributions, from the Devil's Dictionary to an occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge, still resonate, exploring themes of life's absurdity, the inevitability of death, and the blurred boundary between truth and illusion. But Bierce's disappearance added another layer to his legacy. By vanishing without a trace, he became the embodiment of the very mysteries he wrote about, a man who disappeared into history's shadows, leaving behind questions that may never be answered. More than a century later, his story endures as a reflection of humanity's fascination with the unknown. Was he a victim of violence, a man lost to the elements, or the architect of his own vanishing act? Perhaps we'll never know. And that is the genius of Ambrose Bierce, a writer who turned his life and disappearance into an enduring riddle, one that reminds us some stories are meant to remain unsolved.